Hi everyone, welcome to this new Python Fundamental series. My name is Vijay and I'm really excited to start this new series with you all. In this playlist, we are not only going to learn Python concept as disconnected topics, but we are also going to see how Python topics or Python concept will be acting as a building block for our project of student management system. So before we start writing our first line of code, let's address two important questions. First, what is programming? So, the first question is, what is programming? And the second one is, why Python? Why Python is so popular in the programming world? Okay, so starting with the first question, what is programming? Let's say we have a problem statement like there is a new coaching center with 5 students. Okay, and they maintain the data of their students, and data could be like name of the student, their marks, etc. And it will be very easy to maintain manually as the number of students are less, so data will be less, so it is very easy to maintain manually. Now let's say this coaching center become very popular, and next year now they have 500 students with them, so it won't be practically possible to maintain this data manually. Okay, because now the number of students are 500, you cannot manually maintain that data. So for that, you will require a software. And how we build this software? We will use computer to build the software. But although computers are very powerful, they cannot think like us, and we have to give them the instruction. Believe me, for AI also, we have to give them instructions to fetch the required output. So that is where the programming comes into the picture. Computers cannot understand our human language. We have to give the instructions in their language. So that is the programming. That is the process of programming, is the process of giving instructions to computer. Okay. And this could be in different languages, programming languages like C, C++, Java, Python. There are many programming language. So now coming to our next question. If there are so many programming languages, why Python is so popular? So it has few advantages over the other languages like portability. So in Python, if we build a system, let's say we build a system in application in a Linux system and we deploy it on a Mac system, it is possible. We build a system in a Windows system and we deploy it or we ship it to the Mac system, it is possible. So Python is not dependent on the type of operating system that we are using. It is independent. Okay, Linux. So that is the portability that we get with the use of Python. Second is its readability. So Python is very beginner friendly. So any code written in Python is very easy to understand as it is very similar to our day-to-day English language. So uh, the learning curve also is very less for Python. The third advantage is the rich set of libraries that we get with Python. So Python has a big community of the developers who write. We have already written a millions of lines of code and made it open source for us. Okay, so that gives us an advantage that we don't have to write the code from scratch. We can build the applications or softwares by using that code as a building block and write our application or our requirement on top of that. Okay, so and this along with the code written, as Python has a rich community, that code gets updated on the day-to-day basis, so we don't have to worry to write the code from scratch, and that leads us to the next advantage, that it is very productive. Okay, so we focus more on solving the problems rather than writing the code from the scratch. We focus on solving the problems because we already have a building blocks. We don't have to focus more on writing the codes. Okay, and the other is multi-use. So Python, it is considered that Python is used only for machine learning or let's say deep learning, AI. It is not the case. Python is used for various application. So where we use the Python, let's understand that. Where we use Python. Okay. So it is used in development of AI applications, for data analytics. It is highly used for machine learning. It actually comes under the machine learning, and all that comes under the AI application only. Like we have the libraries like pandas, or we have NumPy. We have deep learning libraries like PyTorch, TensorFlow. So that helps us to develop the AI applications very easily. And the other thing that we get is web development application, web development. And then we have automation scripts that are highly written in Python because it is very good for automating the things. So these are some of the use cases of Python. Okay, now since we have looked at what programming is, why Python is so popular, and what are the applications of Python, before moving forward, just we have a quick look at the topics that we will be covering throughout this playlist. Okay, so I'm just writing the topics one by one. Topics we will be covering: variables, strings, lists, tuples. We will be covering sets, dictionaries, and after that we will be covering conditions, loops, and the final stage will be the project, a mini student management system project that we will be developing. And remember guys, this topics are not a separate or disconnected topics. We will be using them as a building block to work on our final project. Okay, so you will be learning how these topics come together, how these concepts are coming together to build a small real world application. Okay, so now moving forward, let's write our first Python code. We will go to the VS Code. We will create our folder for Python fundamentals. And guys, if you haven't installed the VS Code or Python in your machine, I have already videos for that on my YouTube channel. Please have a look on that. the installation is quite straightforward. Okay, so the folder is created. Now we will be creating our Python file. Remember guys, ipynb is the extension for Jupyter Notebook. The advantage with the Jupyter Notebook is that it allows the user to execute the code cell by cell. This is a cell, and it allows us to execute the code, and it is very beginner friendly, so we don't have to execute the whole code together, and cell by cell we can execute that. And to install the Jupyter extension in VS Code, it is very easy. Go to the extension and click on that first Jupyter extension from the Microsoft. Okay. Okay, so we will be writing our first program as we do in every programming language, hello world. So we will go to print and hello world. Okay, so what this print statement will do, it displays the output in the console. Okay, so if we click on the execute cell, it will ask us for the kernel. I have two Python versions installed on my machine. I will select the base version as of now, and it will execute and see, it will display the hello world here. If we take a look on one more example. Okay, so let's say we are building our first line of code for the student management system project. So in this way, we can print that. Okay, and we can execute this line. Okay, so you saw how it easy to print any output to the console. We can make use of the print statement. Okay, so just having a recap what we have covered today. The first thing we covered was what is programming, and we covered why Python is important. Then we covered where we can use the Python. We have a look at the topics that we will be covering in this playlist. And finally, we understood the use of the print statement. Now, in the next upcoming video, we will be looking at how we can store the values in a variable. Let's say you want to store the marks of a student, you want to store the name of a student. So how you can store that using the programming, using the Python, that we will be looking at the upcoming video. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please continue with this playlist. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.